The views, comments, and opinions of the following program do not necessarily reflect those of Morris Media Studios, MorrisMediaLive.com, or its affiliates. Listener discretion is advised.
Like my green with crystals like Folgers, picking up momentum, rolling like boulders. They call me ice, but I'm really much colder. My rhymes is heavy like the weight on my shoulders. I'm spitting that red hot smoldering lava. I fight to the end like the Navajo. Crack a bottle though, make it the goose with cranberry and triple sec. Triple my check, I feel the ripple effect of a fool on the loose. I hit you from every angle, from obtuse to right. Street shit like JJ, I'm dynamite. Slide me some dough, I show you an execution in the flesh. And promise not to leave nothing left. If you vomit, I keep stabbing, shooting, damaging, looting, till it ain't no disputing who the greatest is.
Da 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 da. What's up, party people? Yeah. Just hit me. What's up, man? Thanks everybody for joining Mike Robertson Blvd, man, live on an October 20 night, Tuesday night. Man, we got a great show for you guys tonight. We are going to be digging into some real stuff. First, I got calling in from the ATL live on the phone. Dr. Cherry Collier is going to be joining me. Then I got the ever, always, forever controversial Dwann Encyclopedia Brown calling in to talk about this Ice Cube shit. And then I got in studio my man Richard Harrison to talk about all this voting stuff and issues in Black America and all that good stuff. So we are digging in, party people. Also, we have Poet is here as well. What up? What up? What up? How's everybody doing? Yeah. I can hear y'all screaming. Alrighty. So, with no further ado, we're going to go ahead and dig right on into these issues. The first person joining me today is my old school friend. Been knowing each other 30 plus years. She is a doctor, a writer, a scholar, all around dope person. Give it up. But Dr. Cherry Collier.
Oh, greetings and happy day. Happy homecoming.
What's up? I know, 2 days late and all that. 3 days late. What's up with you? How you doing?
I am fabulous. How are you?
Good, good. I heard y'all had a nice little Zoom call this weekend, huh?
I didn't do anything.
You didn't get on it?
I did not do it.
Oh, you didn't want the fake? You didn't want the fake stuff?
No.
Nah, it could be fun. Depends on who's on it, though.
No, I think it's spectacular. I just, it's all about the grind. So I was doing what I had to do, and I just didn't, I'm selective with how I spend my time.
Hey, I heard that shit. For real, though. Well, it's a lot of stuff going on. I'm sure you are paying attention to all this stuff because that's what you do.
Yes.
You stay up to date.
More than enough going on.
More than enough going on. Man.
Absolutely.
Now we have literally 2 weeks away from the election at this point now, which has been building
Right.
seems like forever.
Yes. November 3rd cannot come fast enough. I cannot tell you it cannot come fast enough. I just need it to come, and that's what I'm waiting for.
Yeah, exactly.
I've already voted.
Yep.
I voted live. I wasn't fooling around with nobody having to worry about the ballot box and looking for it. I went in and cast my ballot.
Oh, I heard that. How long did it take? I saw some long lines out there. How long did it take you?
You know what? So I was incredibly fortunate. It took me about 45 minutes.
Oh, shit.
And, yeah, so when I watched the news, I mean, it was hours. I just went at the right time. So,
oh, really?
Yeah, it only took 45 minutes. And
oh, that's dope.
Yeah, I was so excited, but it didn't matter if it took me all day and night. I was prepared to be there.
For real?
This is too important for me You know, I know not everyone sees it the same way, and I understand the psychology behind why that may be true. But for me, it matters. It matters a whole lot.
Right.
And I can't even begin to tell you how this president has impacted my pocket. Like he got rid of diversity and inclusion training. So my clients canceled training orders, money that I should have had in the bank, I will not get because he doesn't want training that mentions implicit bias or any training around certain things. And so you can't do it. Like if you do it, you run the risk of not being able to ever be a federal contractor again.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Wow. And we need you out there. That's for damn sure. What would you say is really at stake right now when you think of the whole environment? What's this? You said everything.
Everything. The soul of the country. The soul of the country, and particularly, you know, for my black and brown babies, it's everything.
Right.
This is psychological trauma that we're having to experience. And yes, we've been doing it for 400 years, but that doesn't mean that we want to do it for 400 more.
Right. Or 4 more.
Yeah.
No more.
Yeah,
sure.
Not even a day more. But it's beyond tough, and I think that just the soul of the country is at stake, and people are going to have to let us know for once and for all where you're standing. Because either literally people are going to be for us and we're going to recognize that we are absolutely better together. So I am not a person who is a member of a cancel culture. So I'm fine with people who say I want, you know, exclusivity. I'm a person who believes ultimately that we are better together, and the fundamental principles of, you know, having white allies and other allies is what makes us stronger. I think, you know, I particularly think African Americans are some strong-ass people.
Right.
And I think that the mere fact that we survived the Middle Passage and I have the opportunity to do as well as my company is doing in business just lets you know of the strength and what's in our DNA. So we are made from it. We are resilient. We are amazing. And we just everything for us is at stake. There's nothing. This is a serious matter.
Right. It's a serious matter.
Serious matter.
Well, there's so many like levels to it, because you could look at it economically, you could look at morals, you could look at safety. You could look at just being able to prosper in the future. You could look at the environment, the earth, the animals. I mean, just so much stuff is really at stake.
Right, and so I'm going to say this, though. You know, when you start to bring in the finances, and this is where we are going to always have challenges, mm-hmm. Republicans tend to be much better when it comes to finances. You know, Trump was not fiscally responsible when you look at his practices, he's
right.
not a true Republican.
Right.
But people in business tend to prosper under Republican government traditionally. So I do have slight fear around the Biden Harris team for my finances, because
mm-hmm.
it will hurt me. I will be impacted. But, you know, to get to what's happening with Ice Cube and other people, I'm willing to sacrifice money for my principles.
All right.
And I, you know, it just is what it is. You know, I just have to make more money and write bigger checks.
Right. Well, what do you mean by that though? Money versus principles.
What I mean is well, to me, my principles, the Ice Cube, so I think that everyone has the right. So I'm not trying to I'm not in the cancel culture. I'm not like Ice Cube, you're out the family.
Right.
I want to call him in. But I do pay attention to behavior. And so as a psychologist, what we use is behavior to predict. You know, you can predict people's behavior over time by what they've done in the past.
Okay.
So Donald Trump has been very consistent with his behavior. And I used to go to the dog tracks when I was a little girl with my parents. And I would always try to figure out what the hell is this dog running behind. And he's running behind a mechanical little bunny.
Yeah, that little bunny thing, yeah.
Yes. And that is the metaphor that I see that Donald Trump puts out for African Americans. He puts this mechanical dollar,
Ooh.
you know, and we're just chasing that dollar.
Ooh.
But, you know, if we want to chase it, and then I believe that we all think that we are the smartest people in the room. Like, I'm the only person who can do this. And you get into the, you know, the Kanyes and the, you know, Steve Harvey went up there and all those people. But it's a reason why, you know, Reverend Barber, who is one of the most respected people when you start to talk about, you know, doing the work, there's a reason why these people who are, you know, historical figures who don't talk to us, but they walk the walk every day,
Mm-hmm.
people stay away.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not because they want us to stay in poverty. Reverend Barber is one of the most amazing, you know, figures on the planet. And he is a person that deals with the poor people's movement. So the answer is for me and my money. I would much rather sacrifice and help people than sell my soul to the devil. I'm not going to sell my soul to the devil.
I'm not going to sell my soul to the devil or anyone else. That's for sure.
I'm not selling it. And I just recently watched Angel Heart for the first time. And I'm like,
Louis Cypher.
Okay.
Yeah.
Louis Cypher. I'm not doing it.
You're not doing the Louis Cypher?
No, I'm not doing it because I have to live with that money. And so that's what I'm saying. I mean, for me, you have to live with the fact that you went to bed with the devil to make this happen.
Well, it seemed like they threw out, just so I could add on to that, it seems like I shouldn't say it seems, they immediately start putting out this propaganda and this information to make it seem that he was truly working with them. But really, honestly, he wasn't working with them at all. They just like took some stuff off his program and then claimed his name to it. It wasn't like he met with them or they know them or anything like that. It didn't really go that far. They just put that shit out there.
Well, when I attempted to listen to him, I do understand he's very upset. And he said that he went to, you know, Biden and he went here and he went all those places. I understand he has his contract for America. I think that the timing for me is suspect. We got 14 days. We made it this far. We got 14 days to get to November 3rd. Again, I don't knock him for doing what he thinks he needs to do.
Right. Because
there are a lot of poor-ass black folks, right? And so I'm tired of folks telling us to pull yourself up by the bootstraps because there's too many of us that don't even have boots. Forget about the straps.
Right, exactly.
So I think that the conversation is very deep. I just know for me in my house, I just can't do it. You know, it's just, you know, I serve an amazing God, and I believe that God provides for me. And I don't fool around with Louis Cypher. I don't do it.
Yeah.
Like, you're never going to, I don't want to, and I mean, time after time after time, his behavior has belittled black females. He has talked about, you know, my people. He doesn't want diversity and inclusion to be taught. He has refused to denounce things. I mean, it's just, you can't even count the number of things he has done. And so for me, I wouldn't want my name associated with anything Now, I will be the first to tell you, I'm a George W. Bush fan. I will have lunch with him any day of the week that he wants. I like his family. I like what they do. So it's not that I'm against Republicans. I'm not against
right.
I'm not against humanity.
But he's neither, really.
I'm against behavior that is harmful for little kids. I could just see some kid running for the 5th grade, SGA, thinking this is the behavior that he should have.
Right.
And it's just not. And so I can't support, I wouldn't want my name near anything. I wouldn't want to be in a building. I was going out of town before, COVID, and had the opportunity to stay in a Trump. I won't even stay anywhere near. I'm not going to contribute anything.
So they could take your picture while you walk through the lobby and be like, "Here's our African American," and it'll be you on everybody's T-shirts and everything.
The blacks. Yeah, the blacks.
Yeah, they support me.
What happens? Yeah, the blacks. When people reveal themselves to you, you just have to understand that is who they are.
Yeah.
I'm not in a cancel culture. I'm not saying I'm never going to buy Ice Cube's music. He had to do what he thought was good for his movement. Kanye had to do whatever the hell is good for him. But
man.
That's not. That's just not how I sleep.
Yeah. Well, let me just say this as well, for the record. Them two are not the same. Kanye and Cube are not the same.
Okay.
Dang.
I'm hoping not.
Yeah, let's hope not.
I'm hoping not. I am not against Ice Cube. I am against the idea of taking money from Louis Cypher.
Oh, man. You know what? I think you made it loud and clear. Dang. Well, look, Cherry, I'm going to let you go because I got so many more callers calling in. I'm so glad you tapped in, though, because we need that perspective. No, really, because there's a lot of layers to it. And you know what? It's like everybody doesn't feel the same way, and everybody doesn't see things the same or differently. And I think that he probably made some mistakes with how he communicated stuff and all that. But what he's doing on his own time, I'm like you, man, everybody got a right to do what they want to do,
Right. Yes. And I think it's important that we don't just cancel him. I think we need to understand, take the time to figure out, I'm not getting rid of him.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But I do know, if it were me, I wouldn't want it. But I would love to understand more about him. Mm-hmm. And we're not monolithic as black folks. We can't be, and nor should we be.
Yeah.
But I would like for us to have more love, period. So I'm not going to be, Ice Cube, making the memes about him, because that's not me.
Right.
That's not my position.
No.
I just have to be clear about, when I go to sleep tonight, and I know in 21 more days, my tax is going to increase.
Man,
I know how that's going to feel, but I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be okay.
Man,
at least I'm going to have the morals and the values.
Yeah.
But I love you and appreciate you, and thanks for all you do to keep the conversation going.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you 1,000,000 times over. Thanks for calling me. Let's do it again. All right.
All right. Take care. Have a great one.
All right. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, man. There we go right there, party people, man. We don't all see things the same, but we almost saw it the same, pretty much. She just said, can she sleep at night? And everybody's got to decide for themselves, can they sleep at night? You got to decide. Ice Cube looks like he's probably sleeping pretty well. I don't see no bags under his eyes or anything. If you can sleep at night with the mission you're on, man, then who am I to say? Who am I to judge? You know what I mean? I think that the main problem with Ice Cube, man, here's the thing. I've just felt like him sending out that one tweet, if he could just pull back one thing, it's that one tweet that started off saying, hey, the Republicans replied and the Democrats didn't. the way it was written, it was just implied that, that it was like a knock on the Democrats. That's how I read it. And he probably meant to do that, or maybe not. I don't know. But that is the thing that made everybody flip out. The fact that they tweeted something with his name on it and all that stuff, that didn't mean anything because everybody knows it's snakes, man. So that's the only thing I would say. But we're going to keep the conversation going because it's such a big deal right now. It's on all the blogs, all trending everywhere. Coming to the Mike Robertson Boulevard, I got the ever controversial Mr. Dwann Brown in the house. What's up, Dwann Brown?
What's up, Mike, man? Can you hear me clear?
Yeah, I hear you good, man. How you doing there, bro?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Just over here chilling.
Yeah, over here chilling. You got the grill cracking?
No, I ain't got nothing. On the grill I got cracking is this weed I'm about to roll up in this month. I'm going to be smoking this bitch that's going on.
That's all you got cracking? Oh, that's the only smoke going to get in the air, is that?
Weed and incense is all you get.
Man, can you, isn't it a trip to see that this whole Ice Cube story has lasted in this day and age a full week? It's been a week of it now at this point. Or 6 days? 6 days worth?
6 days, yeah.
Man, people really got feelings about this whole thing, man. People really got feelings. And, when it comes down to it, like my previous caller, like Dr. Collier said, man, everybody just got to be able to sleep at night with what they do with their time and what they do with their life, man. You know what I mean? And you got to ask yourself, are you doing too much and are you doing enough or are you doing anything? And can you sleep at night?
Can you sleep at night? That's the biggest thing. Can you sleep at night?
Well, what do you think about the actual action that Ice Cube took? What do you think about that? Let's talk about that.
I love it because whenever I talk, I don't just pull like things out of my ass to speak from emotion. Like when I speak politics, I speak from a point of view of political science. Politics is a science, it's not an art. That means science meaning there's a way to do things, and if you follow these steps, things will get done. And that's why we're purposely not taught political science. Every law that's on the books right now got pushed from someone outside of government onto government. Congress is lazy. Senators are lazy. They don't just sit in their office and say, hey, I think this is a good law. Let's create one. No, someone gave them that law to then push on to the people.
Yeah.
And when people give laws, they give them to both sides of the aisle. All laws are bipartisan. Any law that got passed on a bipartisan basis. So it doesn't matter who sees the deal first as long as somebody sees the deal. Because even if it goes to the Democrats, the Republicans are going to have to approve it anyway. So if the Republicans are saying, okay, we want to see it, just say Ice Cube says politically, just says, okay, we have this plan, and by the way, this plan wasn't created by Ice Cube. He put his name on so we would listen. But it was actually created by political scientists, and it was Dr. Paul Anderson had parts of it. You know what I mean? It got created by a black economist from an economical, political point of view. So it's not like Ice Cube wrote this shit like he did death certificate. He just stamped his name on it because niggas wouldn't have listened if we just said here. Dr. Paul Anderson been trying to do this shit 40 years, so nobody listening. So we had to put a rapper's name on it for niggas to listen.
Well, you know what's a trip? That's a good point right there because even if you look at one thing that came out is that the CDC, literally, man, they got the CBC literally has the same, like 8 of the provisions. They're pushing the same thing in the Congressional Black Caucus. You know what I mean?
Go ahead.
Yeah, so really the point is, man, it's like if you got good ideas coming out there, they're gonna overlap, people are gonna be pushing good ideas. So why is there a fight? Why can't we take more than one angle,
The fight should be over if this was a legitimate fight, the fight would have been, okay, we read through this plan, we like this, we don't like that, you tripping because we put this in the plan, that in the plan. People haven't even read the damn plan. They just mad at what the whole thing going on. I've been on this. I have an episode on my show I did almost 4 months ago now, where I broke down the full 22-page plan, almost line by line, where Ice Cube talked about reparations in the entertainment industry because they stole from us. And he talked about reparations in the police department and having 60% of the police force working in the neighborhood. All these ideas, reparation, all these reparative actions. He talked about black people being 13% of the population, so we should get 13% of the lending from the bank instead of, because right now we're only getting about 1.5% of the lending, and our problems are tied to the economy. The plan is great, and then when you look at Q's plan, it's far more comprehensive than even what the Dems, the Republicans, the Democrats got some outskirts of this plan, but when it gets to the economic part of the Democrat plan, they go into minorities, immigrants, and everybody else that don't include black Americans. Because anything that's for everybody is actually for nobody, especially when it comes for us. Ice Cube says that stuff, but for black Americans, because we're the first problem in America and the last one to be solved. No. If we're going to solve our problems, we have to create the plan and we have to push it. And I said this shit 3.5 months ago on my show. While we have these people running for office, we have to ask these politicians, what are your thoughts on a plan for black America? I backed up my actions by when I was on Craig Facts a month ago. We had a politician, a local politician from Hawthorne that was on our show running, and I asked him then, before this whole controversy came up, what are your thoughts on the plan for black America? Because they're comprehensive and formula that we all need. No one's been taking it serious. Now that Trump says, okay, let me take a look at it, niggas want to cry foul. Same old niggas. Because niggas need to pick up a political science book and know that the only way things happen for us is if we present it. They ain't going to create it for us. And if they do, it's going to be poison in the water. They've never created anything good for us. The civil rights laws on the books that goes back to the 1860s. The reason why they don't work is because they're the motherfuckers who wrote them. We need to do it. And Q did the right thing by getting economists, and he got the smart people together to write the plan. He just was smart enough to know that people are only going to listen if I put my name on it. They won't listen if it's just black scholars. Because nobody cares about black scholars if they don't dunk a basketball.
Well, my problem with it, I have only one problem with it, and I just got through saying it, which is the fact that he made sort of like a tweet about it, rubbing it in one side's nose, in a way. It was like and it's still not a problem, but it's just the cause to me of all the uproar. But if he didn't do that one tweet, he could have kept pushing along and everything, and he wouldn't have got the pushback. But then you could say you also wouldn't have got the attention on the plan, because the drama with Trump really brought a lot of attention to the plan.
You're right, because the plan's been out there since May. It's been pinned on his Twitter. He went on ESPN. Even that dude Chris Broussard from ESPN, he was a part of it. You know what I mean? Because he's the one that brought the scholars together. I mean, he went on Jamel. Cuba's been doing media for 4 months on this plan. And he's been saying the whole time, we got to get to our local representatives. We got to put these plans in the face of our representatives. Because if black people understood political science, we have to give our representatives the plan. Because, matter of fact, we don't even want anything that they draw up without our attention. Because if they draw it up, it's going to fuck us up. And so he did it. Paul Anderson has been telling us to do this for 40 years. Literally for 40 years he's been saying doing this. Right. And he actually drew these plans up.
Right.
Since you don't have gold records, no one's been listening. Q just did what we've been needing to do. Because when it comes to the Tea Party side, the conservatives got this place called ALEC, A-L-E-C. Look it up. Some people look up ALEC, A-L-E-C. When it comes to those conservative reforms, ALEC is a think tank, and they write these particular proposals, and they push them on Republicans, but they also push them on Democrats, too. They lean on the Republicans, but they don't take any chances, and they also push it to the Democratic houses. So when we come with all these different laws that we have regarding, like, a lot of these conservative laws, a lot of these bathroom laws, a lot of that stuff is pushed on through outside, and that's just literally the only way our government works. Literally, the only way it can work is if we craft plans and push them on our representatives. Problem is, the corporations have been doing it, the white folks have been doing it, and we just been accepting it.
Let me ask you one more question, man, before I let you go, man. That's a good game right there. Who you voting for, man?
I ain't voting for neither one of them motherfuckers, man. I'm voting for Prop 22, because Prop 22 is for the Uber drivers. You know, and locally, I'm voting for, here in Gardena, I'm voting for, what's that nigga's name? Stephen Bradford, because Stephen Bradford has a California bill on the line. If you're in this district, you need to vote for him because he has a bill that's going to end qualified immunity for police officers, making it open for us to go ahead and prosecute police officers. He has that bill on the table now in California.
What number was that?
I don't know the number of the bill. No, that's a bill going through the House.
Oh.
But he's the state.
Okay. Okay.
The most important positions are state senators, state Congress, even the people push stuff that can affect us locally. So I encourage people to look and see what they state senators are doing wherever they are locally. I see the whole race going on, Herb West and Holly Mitchell. I can't vote on that because I'm not in that area.
Yeah.
So people in the area need to go ahead and look at that. But as far as nationally, this shit's going to go. California's going blue. So those 54 electoral votes are going to go to Biden, but Biden's going to have an issue when it comes to Pennsylvania, Ohio, and those other swing states. But California's blue anyway. So it don't even fucking matter who we vote for.
For the presidential.
For the presidential.
Yeah, man. Well, as far as the Ice Cube thing goes, I just wanted to get your take on it because, you know, I've been a fan of Ice Cube since they came out, you know what I mean, which is 86 that I first heard of him. And, you know, he's said a lot of stuff that I back. And, you know, he did things that people didn't respect, but he's a person who does whatever he wants to do. And that's been the consistent part about Ice Cube. He does whatever he wants to do. And
you know how I look at it when it comes to Ice Cube? Because he's always been ahead of the curve. Look, people laugh at him for turning down $75,000. But there's a lot of people that are stuck on their plantation jobs that are laughing at people who went and took the risk.
Yeah.
You can't let the sheep judge your movement.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, I don't want to get too hard on my black people because black people have been purposely denied political science education.
Yeah.
One thing I'm saying before I go. In the book Miseducation of the Negro by Carter G. Woodson, which came out in 1933, he talks about how there were proposals back in the 1910s and 1920s to teach political science and political education to black people so that we can get our foot in the game. And literally all the forces within the government came against it and said, hell no, don't teach them niggas shit about how this politics works. Because if they learn it and they learn it well enough, if all of us know it, white supremacy can stamp out one or two at a time. But if all of us know what we're doing, they can't stamp us all out.
Well, that's been the whole thing the whole time, man, is to keep you uneducated. I mean, that's the best defense right there. Keep you uneducated. So we got to educate ourselves in the matters of political science if we want to participate in the political realm. And if you don't want to educate yourself on political science, then stop calling people stupid who do. Yeah, good point. All right, man. All right, Dwann, man, thanks for calling in, man. That's all good game right there. Y'all follow Dwann B on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, everything, man. All that shit. Yeah. All right, Mr. Hotepish, man. I'll get back with you later. All right, man. And listen to my Judge Joe Brown interview when y'all can, y'all. Shit. Oh, yeah, that shit was hot, by the way. Yeah. That shit was hot. All right, man. Follow my man. All right, y'all. Yeah. Hey, party people. I got to get a refill on this little Drizzink right here, man. Give me like 45 seconds. I'll be right back. Ding.
Hey, man, I love that loveliness right there. From sea to shining sea, I'm the only MC to see. From sea to shining sea, I'm the only MC to see. From sea to shining sea, I'm the only MC to see. You a thunderstorm and I'm Katrina. I'm a big giant and you Thumbelina. I saw my first reggae show with Tipatinas with Pato Bonton smoking his Sensamina. You dress like a ballerina. Selena. I'm a Leo, the real king, like Regina. I prefer the shotgun over the Nina, and the Rego over the Six Fina. I put my saw on your neck like talking Tina. I be jogging this shit, so I'm walking leaner. My mom's just died, so I'm talking meaner. I'm looking for Inglewood, has anybody seen her? I heard she fucked with Hawthorne on the side and smoke and drink with Gardena. I'm the middle line between good and bad, like the Los Angeles sports arena. You got roses in your bowl like Pasadena. I be with a gang of niggas like Altadena. They call us niggas, and Mexicans wetbacks. It's how they keep that wedge between us. Can't fuck with me. From sea to sea, hey, from sea to shining sea. I'm the only MC to see. From sea to shining sea.
That's you right there. What up, party people? Ho, ho, ho. Man, it's getting good, guys. Getting good. Thanks to Dwann Brown for calling in. Thanks, Dr. Cherry Collier, for calling in, man, giving us that good game. Coming up right now, we're going to keep it going. I got my main man in the house who's always digging into these subjects, paying close attention, and does a damn good job of explaining it. On the stage with me right now, not on the stage, but at the table. Not at the stage, but on the table right now is my man Richard Harrison in the house. What's up, man?
My man Mike, my homie from the way back. Representing Inglewood.
That's right.
Yes,
all
sir.
Day.
Yes.
How you doing, dog?
Oh, man, I'm good, man. Blessed. Happy to be here on the show with my man. Keeping it pushing.
Yeah, I like what I see you doing every Friday.
Every Friday, yes, sir.
4 o'clock, 4:30?
Yeah, 4 o'clock, yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of parry between the two. You know what I mean? But, 4 o'clock. Yeah.
Oh, it don't matter as long as you get to it.
Trying to be in kingdom with a conversation to the people, man. Like you, brother.
Hey, man, that's what we do up here,
man. You were doing
it
first, man. I'm following you, brother.
Sometimes we clown and act the damn fool, but sometimes it ain't funny. Sometimes it's not funny at all. Hey, man, it's serious. There's a lot going on right now, man.
Yes, sir.
Now, you've been paying attention to this Ice Cube situation, right?
Yeah.
What's your opinion on... well, first where I want to start with it is this whole idea that he is putting forth a plan for Black America. How do you even feel about a person doing that?
Well, I look at it like this. Anytime, somebody's stepping forward to help people of color, you're either in a movement or a moment. So we have to see which one this is. Is this a moment for him? Because Ice Cube was rapping and was acting. And with the difference between a moment and a movement is sacrifice. So he stepped out of his comfort zone to push something for Black folks. Whether we agree with the plan or not, which I read the plan, and there's stuff in it, it's nothing that the CBC hasn't done. There's plenty of Black scholars that have been in this game for 20 years who got the same stuff that Ice Cube has and can't get in front of Congress, can't get a call back, can't get it nowhere near Congress.
Right.
So is there some usury in there? Probably so. But the fact is he stepped out and tried something. You can't fault the man. At least he's trying to do something.
Yeah, what difference does it make,
Exactly, man. He's doing something.
We got too much of this so-and-so want the credit type shit. I've been doing it for 40 years. Well, goddamn good work, homie.
Yeah.
Good work. It led to this moment right now.
Exactly. Exactly. And we got to know, and the guy, you've been doing this 40 years, fine. When did you pass the torch?
Right.
All respect to, Maxine Waters and all the other elders in the political game. But people don't know how to give up power and allow somebody to move. You never know with Ice Cube. Ice Cube could jump into politics. But we have to be able to get off this. It's all about power. We know politics is all about power, right? It's power politics. So we got to be able to pass the torch at some point.
Got to be able to pass the torch.
Yeah.
Now, what's your idea about the plan itself? Like, as far as if you could rate it, I'll go first, just so not to put you on the spot.
No, go ahead.
But I read it, man, and honestly, I gave it a C+.
Yeah.
I gave it a C+. But it's way better than the F we were getting, you know what I mean, which is nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there's a lot there. It's just that, like, one thing I like that Ice Cube said as well is that it's a growing document.
Sure.
It's not like, this is it. It's like, no, it's evolving. And as more information comes in, and it's evolving. So I did like that part. But where do you rate it?
Well, I guess around the same. And the reason being is because structurally, financially, how you going to get it passed? And when you create a plan, you create a plan to succeed. So his idealism, like he got some good stuff on police reform, like something I said 3 years ago about making police carry their own liability insurance. Because you sue a police officer, then what do? And then you sue a cash-strapped city and take money. Then they don't want to fix the roads.
Right.
Don't want to take care of the sewage.
Yeah.
So, can't fix the park. So he has some good stuff in there. But the idea of it is how you going to get it passed?
Right.
The one thing he never talked about is the Senate. If we don't flip the Senate, this is just a bunch of smoke and mirrors.
Right.
So strategically, how you going to get it passed? So that I give it a C.
You give it a C.
Yeah, I give it a C.
I threw the plus on it.
But let me give him an A for stepping out and wanting to do something. He didn't have to.
A for effort.
He could have kept his rapping, he don't have to do this.
Yeah.
So,
Well, he said it was the George Floyd incident that made him open his eyes. Not open his eyes. I'm sorry. But it made him, when George Floyd happened, he said he started looking around to see like, okay, well, what's our plan? What are people asking for? And he said he didn't really see it.
Yeah.
Even though it was in pieces all over the place, but didn't really see it, and that's what made him get on this journey right here. So it was a traumatic experience, or event.
I think it's a good time. I mean, anything that's coming off on the backdrop of Breonna Taylor or George Floyd that's going to help black people get their just due in this country, because every other race has benefited. You got the whites after the Civil War that got millions of acres of lands. Then they recouped them after World War II with the GI Bill and gave them more land. The Indian got treaties. The Jews got reparations. Hell, the Japanese got reparations in '88. With overwhelming Congress approval, Reagan gave Japanese who were in a concentration camp for 4 years. We were in slavery for 56 years. Matter of fact, slavery didn't end until 1945, because after slavery was sharecropping. So let's say 356 years. And we can't get anything. So anybody who's trying to push us towards that mark, can't hate that.
Let it happen.
Let it happen, man.
Let it happen.
Yeah.
So one thing I wanted to talk about, too,
yes, sir,
is that one of these things that Ice Cube worked with, the ADOS group, which, you know.
Yeah, ADOS.
I don't jump all on their shit, but they accomplished something I was impressed with.
Yeah.
Which is this 3121 CA. Are you familiar with that?
Yeah, sure.
That is basically a law that went into play where California has basically committed to investigating all of their wrongful doings and everything they did racially in this state from the very beginning. They are taking a look at it and trying to come up with basically solutions.
Yeah, solutions. Yeah,
to stop it from going forward.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead.
Whether a direct payment or indirect payment.
Yeah.
So Sheila Weber out of San Diego came up with this bill, and so it is taking a look at reparations. It's taking a look at how California was implicit in slavery. See, what a lot of people don't know is that slavery got all the attention in the South, but they were just as racist in the North. It's just that, the North was about tile, the South was about cotton. And all the other states were, because when California came in the Union, they came in the Union as a free state. But the law was, if you were a slave and you came into California, you were still a slave. So they supported slavery. They supported the South. So, and they also had slave auctions in California. In fact, they also supported the Slave Fugitive Act. So in 1852, they had a white militia group that was going around rounding up black men, taking them before the magistrate. Obviously, they're found guilty; they were slaves, and then send them back to their slave states. And when people thought a free state would be a place of refuge, California supported slavery.
Right.
In that way, yeah.
From the very beginning.
And then so they should take a look.
And then they got a real comprehensive law, man, where it's like they're really digging in, looking at the industries that were impacted and who grew out of it and who benefited. Everything from cities, counties, the side of town you're on, schools, everything. They are digging in, man.
Yeah. And see, the thing is, and this is why locally is so important, because, hats off to Gavin Newsom. Gavin Newsom is a trendsetter, because in 2004, when he was mayor of Sacramento, he signed the same-sex law in Sacramento to sign off on same-sex marriages. That grew into a national implication. In fact, he's getting credit for that nationally now they started same-sex marriage. This could do the same thing.
Same thing.
You know, they already have AR-40 that Sheila Jackson out of Texas passed in January 2019. It went before the committee a couple of times, Judiciary Committee, and it kind of died on the vine in June. This bill could actually resurrect that, so we can go federal. So we got to locally get behind this.
Yeah. And it always starts with one state. And you know what? California.
CA, man.
California is takes the leadership role in a lot of these little things, man.
They do.
When you research, you say, damn, where'd it start? California started.
They do.
You know what I mean?
Right. Yes,
now, we have the election coming up, man, 2 weeks. I can't wait for it to be over, man. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of hearing about it.
Yeah.
I can't shut myself off from it.
Yeah.
What are you thinking about, man? What's important for us to be considering with this election?
Well, there's two facets to it. One is, what bothers me is that anytime there's a national election, we lose focus locally. We have to make sure we act locally but think nationally. Now, this is probably the only time in history that I know of, other than the Reagan era, when he cut programs and made poor people poor, that a president is going to have direct local implications. For example, the ACA. You got 23 million people on Obamacare. He's in court right now trying to end that. You know, the case is Texas versus California. I'm sorry, Texas versus United States. Sorry about that.
Right.
If he ends that, you're going to kick 23 million off health care. And you got 133 million people with preconditioning conditions that are not going to be getting health care. That's a direct local implication. He's rolling back all the environmental, all the racial discrimination protections that Obama put in place. So we got to make sure we come out in number. Now, that's why we're seeing all this voter suppression, because the Republicans, when the voting population goes down, their chances of winning goes up.
Right.
Especially when women come out and vote, Democrats win. That's the reason why I want Biden in. I mean, the jury's out on Biden. But I know he's not going to destroy people of color by taking away our health care, among other things.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The thing about Biden, man, he's going to end up giving you 90% of what Obama gave us. You know what I mean? He's going to have his 10% on it, but that's what it's going to be, man. You know?
Yeah.
So you can just look at that as the model, you know?
Yeah.
Another person I talked to, a friend of mine, he said something funny. Is like, it's really a choice between democracy and dictatorship. Because Trump wants to go in this direction where I answer to no one, you know, but myself, you know?
Yeah, he's a dictator, yeah.
Every time all his friends are in jail now who he's brought in, you know?
Yeah, that's the first I've seen that. Yeah.
We got so many open appointments and they're not hiring people, you know? I mean, like, it's really working with a small group, man.
Yeah.
So that's really the main thing. Now, let's talk about the local stuff, because that's where you can really, 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 really impact your life, man.
Oh, man.
Voting for the local stuff.
Man, we got to look down ballot, down ticket, downstream, whatever you want to call it, because it's those local policies that are your tabletop conversations that are going to affect your local, your pocketbook economy, your city taxes, how much you're paying for transportation, when your kid is kicked out of school, how long does he stay out of school? You know, all the overall look and feel of your city is all your local. So down ballot, we're not focused. There are politicians in L.A. that have won the election with 1,400 votes.
Right.
In L.A.?
Yeah.
There's one time where a student ran and he got 500 votes. So the incumbent, who had been there for 20 years, won with 1,400 votes, and the student won with 500 votes. We are not in tune locally. And that's why our neighborhoods and communities are in the way that they're in. Now, that's 50% a problem. That's public policy. Then you got 50% personal responsibility that we need to work on. Building economics, stopping the gang violence, working together to build a community.
Man, gang violence, though, man, has been coming down a lot.
It has been.
They got the older guys really going back in the community, working together.
Respect to that.
Man, they're doing a good thing there.
Respect to that. So, and along with that, we got to work on building black economics back again. We built Selma. We built Tulsa. Of course, they bombed it. But we have to ask ourselves, why were they able to do that in 1921 and we can't do that in 2020? And that's why I always say that integration was the worst thing that ever happened to black folks.
Well, the other thing, when you just want to talk about businesses in the community, man, community, what's killing us is the Walmart, Home Depot, Best Buy, all these big places that sell everything.
Yeah.
Well, there used to be a dude that sold washers and dryers. There was a dude that sold carpet. There was a dude that had a
That's right. That's right.
A hardware store. Literally, man, there was somebody that did all the things they do. When you think about Costco and Walmart and all the shit they sell in there, man, they sell everything. Clothes, groceries. That all used to be a different business in the community, man. Every time one comes in, they got better deals because they buying in bulk across the country. The prices are lower. It's one-stop shopping. It shuts everybody down. And then they want to say, like, hey, we're giving jobs to people. But still, what about all those independent businesses that were all around? If you go down the street in the hood, I'm going to tell you what you could find there. I'm going to tell you the businesses. It's very simple and plain. You're going to find all businesses that are not available in Target, Walmart, such and such, such and such.
Right.
So that's going to give you barbershops.
Hair and nail shop.
Yep. It's going to give you the hair and nail. It's going to give you liquor store. Exactly.
Fast food.
It's going to give you fast food.
And those are and check cashing place.
Check cashing,
8 times
which is also available.
Where it's also right, which is 8 times more concentrated in our neighborhoods than white neighborhoods. Why? Because they're capitalizing on a market, and again, that was part of integration. When I knew that I had to go to my man Mike to do my plumbing, and Mike knew he had to come to me to do his electric. We built an economy. Because you were all I had. But since we've integrated. And everything that's been integrated, they snatched the resources and left the people behind. Here, for example, black college football. Black college football in the South was huge. Why they snatched all the players out of the black colleges, but didn't invite the colleges in the leagues.
Oh, of course.
So that's kind of what they done with the black resource.
Dirty game,
man.
Because I go to Home Depot. Maybe I could get a job there or whatever. But I still can't open up no hardware store.
We own the little hardware stores. So it's all about what you own and control. And African Americans don't own and control enough. When slavery ended, we owned 1/2 of 1% of America's wealth. In 2020, we own 1/2 of 1% of America's wealth.
Facts. What should they be paying attention to? What else, man, on these local ballots? What you got your eyes on?
Well, I think that the mayoral race is very, very important, and how that mayor is going to, what policies he's going to bring in. Like I'm in Hawthorne, so one of the problems I see in Hawthorne is that on Hawthorne Boulevard, the most prettiest, elegant building is the police department. We got an $85 million budget, and we spend 60 cents on every dollar on policing. In a 3 by 6 mile city. That makes no damn sense. Compared to Carson, roughly the same size, spends 30 cents on every dollar on policing. So I'm looking at that. That's a local issue. It has nothing to do with federal. And I'm sure in other cities and parts of LA, they got the same issue. What is that mayor going to do? What is that city council going to do? What is their history as far as voting to help people? Look at that so you can see who you're going to vote for.
Yeah, exactly, man. Another big one, Dwann Brown was on. He was talking about this is that Proposition 22, which is important to a lot of people. I am personally on the yes side of that. Majority of people on the no side. The companies are on the yes side, and I hate to side with the companies, but they want to keep it where you're independent contractors, and you decide when you come in, you decide when you drive. You decide. Keep your own schedule and everything. They want to keep that. And I understand why they want to keep it, because they don't have to pay for the insurance. They don't have to pay for this and that to the tune of billions of dollars for people to make them all employees. So there are people out there who are driving around who don't want to be independent. They want to be on the clock. They want to work as it's their job. They want to get their benefits. They want to do this and that and that and that. And so it looks way more attractive to them. What do you think about that?
Well, 22 came on the ballot before or something similar to this, and the drivers didn't want it. So I'm like, I don't really have a dog in the fight. But if the drivers didn't want it the last time it came, then give them what they want.
Right.
To me, I'm more focused on 21 and 15, actually. So.
Okay, now what's 21?
21 is rent control.
Okay.
This was on the ballot 2 years ago, and it failed. Here's a colossal failure. We don't focus down ballot. We don't vote. You had companies that spent $50 million to get 21 to pass the last time it was on the books, and it failed. Real estate companies, landowners, because they don't want to have rent control. Why would that fail in L.A.? Why would rent control fail in L.A.?
There's way more renters.
Right, and everybody's complaining about the high rent, so
owners.
why would that bill fail? We're not focused down ballot.
Yeah.
15 is making businesses pay their fair share of property tax. Now, you got the old lady from the NAACP that they paid $1.5 million to say is going to raise business. It clearly says in the bill that it's not going to raise property taxes, and it's only going to affect businesses that have worth of $3 million or more. But see, what's happening now is that big businesses have all these loopholes where they're not paying taxes. So that falls on the property owners and the small businesses. What the bill is saying, we're going to make the big companies like the Walmarts, the Targets, the Best Buys pay their fair share of taxes.
Yeah.
15 has to pass.
Okay, that's 15.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
I'm not mad at 15, people.
Man. Down ballot, people. Pay attention. Pay attention down ballot.
Now, what else? Now, since you were here before, Kamala has joined the ticket. Yeah. And she's got a lot of supporters, but she's also got a lot of, what do you call it, detractors.
Yes.
What do you think about the strength that she brings or doesn't bring?
Well, I think that she does bring, first of all, people got together, black folks, unified and told Biden, you gotta have a black woman as your vice president. So, I guess she was the best pick. I think she's smart. And I think she has a long history in the political game. She has national recognition, which can help him. But I also think that the other part of it is her record as a top cop. I look at it like this. She was doing her job. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know if she was just targeting black men. I haven't seen the evidence of that. But what I think she needs to do, and the Democrats have horrible messaging. And I think Biden and her are just not very, that's a varying opinion. But I think she needs to really speak to her record more so she can strengthen herself. I'm just happy to see a black woman there.
Yeah.
I don't want to hate. I want to congratulate.
I think that I think that Democrats are just generally too nice, man.
Ain't they?
They want to keep some type of level of respect in the game or something, man. It's too
terrible.
Nice.
The Republicans are ruthless.
Ruthless, man. They do not care of your opinion.
They don't care
when they do some shit.
Yeah, why you sitting there letting Trump take credit for the First Step Act? When the First Step, there would be no First Step if it wasn't for the Democrats.
Right.
Why you letting them do that? Why you letting them take credit for, giving HBCUs money when that was Sheila Jackson and Bobby Scott that pushed that bill? He just signed it. Mm-hmm. The bill was already veto-proof, so he couldn't stop it anyway. Say that. Stop letting this man take credit for stuff for black folks. So for what black people have done.
Well, we got a lot of brothers out there, man, supporting these black Trump supporters, man. There's plenty of them. And I haven't been able to figure it out myself. I don't know. Now, one new thing that just came out is 50 Cent has got a little fire because he says, hey, man, Biden's raising taxes. I'm rich. Yeah. It matters to me.
That's all it is.
Now, look.
It's money.
I can understand it.
Yeah.
I don't rock like that, but I could get it.
I get it.
Like,
you rich. I get it.
I got $200 million. Yeah. Man, shit.
Yeah.
This dude going to help me keep my dough. I'll vote for this guy. Yeah,
it's a business decision.
But all of the 20 million fans that you have, they don't have $200 million.
No.
But they'll jump on board to protect their wealth.
Yeah. And the thing is that Trump said, I love the poorly educated. And that's exactly who supports it. The Republicans haven't passed a bill in 40, 50, 60, 100 years to help middle-class folks.
Yeah.
Why in the hell if you're rich, I get it. But why are you fighting a rich man's game when you're the working poor, the middle class, or poor?
Yeah.
The Republicans became about business during the Civil War because they keep talking about, the Republicans were the party that saved the Negroes. Yeah, they passed the 13th, 14th, 15th Amendment. But during the Civil War, they started making a lot of money. So since 1870, they've been about business, and that's all they've been about. You can go back and check yourself. You cannot find a bill that the Republicans have passed that helps middle-class America.
They don't because.
So why are you supporting that party?
Because look, they can't prosper with that model. they got to have a poor class and a rich class.
Well, yeah, that's what it is.
That's how you prosper.
Yeah, because money don't trickle down.
Yeah,
it trickles up.
Yeah,
that's what trickle down. It ain't worked yet. The Republican model, and don't get me wrong, you know, the Democrats had the issues too. You know, I like the ADOS model where we have black unity, and then we see whatever party that works, and we force that party to do, whether Democrat or Republican. I like that model. But the people that middle class and poor people that support the Republican Party, I just...
Well, you look, the thing is, man, again, Republican, Democrat, man, you know, you could do what you want to do.
Yeah.
I just don't get when these black Republicans are supporting Trump. He's not even a Republican. He has no...
Yeah.
He's on the Republican card right now, but he hasn't lived his life as a Republican and all that. He doesn't care. It's only just like about him, you know? Yeah,
you know, it's about money. If you see like the Candace Owens, the Jesse Lee Petersons, the Terrence K. Williams, the Diamond and Silk or Hole, whatever their name
Diamond
is.
and Silks?
Yeah, this is the thing is, look where we've gone. If Diamond and Silk, I expect you to see you on a strip club. I don't expect to see you in the White House talking about what some white man should do for black folks. But look where we've gone, from Frederick Douglass to A. Philip Randolph, to Monroe Trotter,
W.E.B. Du Bois,
to W.E.D. Du Bois, to Martin Luther King, carrying the souls of black folks into these White Houses. We went from there to a Diamond and Silk in the White House, talking about what should be done for black folks. We've gone downhill, bro.
Yeah.
It's a minstrel show.
Whew. I'll tell you, man. Well, we got 2 weeks to go, party people, on this mission.
Get out there and vote.
And I'll be glad when it's over. Don't wait till the last minute if you can help it. Don't wait to the last minute if you can help it, party people.
Yeah.
Get out there, man. I think that I'm going to fill out my whole little booklet, man. Probably get out there tomorrow, man, and get mine turned in. Definitely ain't going to try to mail it. I'm not trusting that stuff. Yeah. But anyways, man, we're gonna all survive. It ain't gonna destroy your life, but keep your eyes open because some shit might go haywire in them streets. So anyway, man, tell the party people where they can find you.
Man, you can find me on Instagram at KingdomHood51. I'm also on Facebook. My show is Kingdom Hood Conversation every Friday at 4, talking about deep conversations, man.
All right.
All the good stuff.
Deep.
Yeah,
and you wrote a book.
Dad at 14.
Dad at 14.
Story of my life, man. Being a 14-year-old dad, man.
Man.
Craziness, man.
Crazy. Got to be a movie. All right, man. All right, I'm King Mike Boogie on all my items. You guys already know.
Yep.
And thanks again, POTUS, for another lovely Tuesday evening. And we are out of here, party people.
Man, I love that loveliness right there. From sea to shining sea.